But one of the central points of this journey comes from Matthew chapter 6, 25 to 34, where it talks about, don't worry about today, for today has enough worries of its own. Don't worry about what you will eat or drink, or what you will wear, for God takes care of those things, or what you will eat, or even the birds of the air God feeds. And so instead he said, seek first God's kingdom. And I think this is the invitation we want to be about, is we ask ourselves, how do we live then, if this is the people we are, if God is who God is? How then do we live if this is the way of reality, rather than what we've been taught? That it's not this separate thing of two different worlds, but this one good creation that God is a part of, and all the relationships and all that is. So how then do we live? And think of the Lord's Prayer, which also speaks, when Jesus asked how to pray, how do we connect to God? He says, pray like this. And he lifts up the Lord's Prayer, and one of the things he said is, God, your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. That we are praying to a God who is about the here and now, that we want this kingdom that God has been about, where all are welcome, where all are loved, to come about on this earth in the same way it already is in God's. I'm going to close with a clip from a movie. This is from the movie End of the Sphere. And it's a very difficult scene in many ways, but I want to invite us to journey together with this.
Said was there was something I needed to see. No other explanation was offered. And so our journey that had spanned two worlds, bridged the Stone Age and the 21st century, finally led us here, down the lonely Quarterly River.
Avión! This is what happened. Baba Badasya. سواء دايرة بطاطية بسيطة. وسأسبق إلى مسيح. Otaniraba kinchaduana kinakaboya. What? What did he see? Tell me! Mojarasio Wadugira. Dubara. Mira tu ayuda. Necesidad de la aula. agua.
My father lost his life at the end of the spear. And it was at the end of the spear that Minkayani and I found ours. It's true that my dad and his 4 friends were not given the privilege of watching their children and grandchildren grow up. But Minkayani is a grandfather. It's the first time in Wadani history they've ever had so many grandfathers. He's not only a grandfather to his own children, he's a grandfather to mine. My dad was like that. Through the years, people could always identify with our loss, but they could never imagine the way that we would experience gain.
Close with time of prayer. God, you know we are in a hurting world. We live in a culture that has been torn into parts, that lives in this schizophrenia, this soul-starved secularization, this place where we think that the sacred is a separate place, and we miss it in the here and now. We don't realize that you are present in this moment, that we cross that veil without seeing it so often, that right now is the sacred place, and that you invite us into a new way, a way of giving ourselves for others, of loving those who are enemies. And on this day, especially when we remember 10 years since 9/11, we ask that you would help us to be people that create a new world by walking the path of love and of forgiveness, creating a new future. We ask that in these coming days and weeks and months, and especially in this community you've given here, that you would help us to live as your people, to open ourselves to you, to walk in those ways that help us to cross into that sacred realm, and to be able to love as you loved us, and especially to love those who we call enemies. We ask that you might help us as we walk that journey together, to be able to answer that question, how then shall we live? And to do it in Jesus' name.